The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Rule. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, the fatal shooting of 15-year-old Alexis Smith on Sunday morning at a nightclub in the West, still the topic of discussion throughout the country. While police tell us that an arrest has been made, charges have not yet been filed. Tonight, residents of the largest settlement in the country are speaking out about that fatal shooting incident. Joan Davis-Roll reports.
The yellow tape was then round, she was then covered, and everybody was just round, standing up, the police and everything was then here, and before I even reached close, my sister then come hug me, and the only thing was on my mind was holding my sister.
Bendrika Bain, a close friend of the 15-year-old girl, Alexis Aaliyah Smith, who was gunned down early Sunday morning, pointed to a blood-stained area where the lifeless body of a friend was discovered on the outside of the Platinum nightclub. She recalled that morning when she got the shocking news.
The phone rang and I got up and I answered it. I saw it was my sister's number, and she just called me panicking, Bendrika. I was like, what happened? What happened? She wouldn't breathe. She's saying, Lexus. I said, what happened to Lexus? She said, Lexus dead. So me and my boyfriend, we sped here, and when we came, she was then under the cover. And then my sister just came running, and she just hugged me, and she was like, Bendrika, Lexus gone. I ain't see Lexus no more. And
So what was she doing here, and does she normally come to the bar? Because a lot of people are talking about her being 15 and being in the bar and that sort of thing. How do you feel about that?
I mean, we all was young. We all made mistakes. We all made wrong decisions in life. And in life, she made a decision that cost her. But we all been to that point where we made mistake, and everybody just looking at it as her being young. We don't know what her life was like growing up. So we can't just look at it as her being young, because I was young before too, and I partied and I did plenty stuff, and it came to reality that I was able to wake up and say, you know what, this is an end for me, this is my time to stop. So at the end of the day, we can't just look at it as her being young. We don't know what was her situation.
The circumstances surrounding the teen's death, a topic of discussion in many quarters. Wednesday morning, there was some level of confusion as residents assembled outside the 8 Mile Rock Magistrates Court. This is word spread like wildfire that a man accused of fatally shooting Alexis Aaliyah Smith in the head was to be arraigned in court, but there was no such arraignment. Residents, including some family members, weighed in on what they called a shocking and senseless killing.
She should have been home in her mommy's house. And that's something we need to, the whole nation need to do about. You're 15 years old, why are you hanging around the club? You understand? As parents, we should be able to keep our children under control. God hold us responsible for our children.
My heart is went out for that young girl because I have children too. And my God, is sad.
And I just hope, that something is being done about these murders that is, going on. They had it on Facebook the day after that at 4 in 24 hours. Come on, they bragging about this thing. This is very sad. And the whole community in 8 Mile Rock is very sad about this. And I think something should be done about all this murder.
First of all, a 15-year-old shouldn't be at a nightclub. A 15-year-old shouldn't be on the streets after hours. I don't care who child you is. Back in the days, if the parents see any child anywhere, they allowed to whip that child and send them home and call their parents and deal with them. That's how the law was back in the days. Nowadays, parents can on all type of way for their kids.
Joan Davis-Roll, ZNS Network News.
Well, tonight, the Department of Social Services is speaking candidly about this tragic incident involving 15-year-old Alexis Smith. Officials telling ZNS News that the young girl was once in the care of that department, but she was released to her parents. The murder of 15-year-old Alexis Aaliyah Smith has sparked much debate, particularly since she was a minor in a nightclub in the wee hours of the morning. Minutes after her death, a video went viral on social media of the young girl dancing in the establishment before she met her demise. While some have questioned the role of social services in all of this, Assistant Director of Social Services Paula Marshall telling ZNS News that the minor was in their custody for several years, but not leading up to the time of her death.
We have worked with the family. The family members stepped forward in order to accommodate her after a while. She's been out of social services care for more than a year. we were not aware of some of the factors that have come up since her death. And it is unfortunate that family members didn't bring it to our attention, so that there may be something we could have done to intervene to keep her safe.
We understand that the young girl was registered at a local school on Grand Bahama, but she was not attending. Sources say she also previously attended the William A. Pratt School for Girls in the nation's capital and then released to her parents. However, social services officials say they had no idea she was not living in that home. The assistant director confirming that they have spoken with the girl's family since the tragic shooting.
Social workers have been to the home. I've spoken to some of the family members, and we've indicated that we will do all we can to assist them with her at this time.
A student has to be 16 to opt not to attend school, and 18 years old is the legal age to enter a nightclub. Marshall was asked if the parents or guardians responsible for Smith could face child endangerment charges.
Children are definitely under the care of parents until they're 18, and so I'm sure the police will be paying particular attention to what were the factors involved in this situation.
But she says that parents have the legal duty to ensure that their children are protected.
If parents find that their children are not prepared to comply with their parental rules and regulations, then they have a duty to bring the matter before the courts. In order to do that, they would have to go to the probation department. The probation department would then do an investigation to determine whether there is a legal case that needs to be made. Once they do that, they will carry the matter before the court.
So the question is, was social services following up on this matter?
The follow-ups that we would do would not be just totally ongoing for a very long time. We would do the follow-ups to make sure that they are settled in properly.
Police say Alexis Aaliyah Smith of Holmes Rock was at a night spot around 3 a.m. Sunday morning when she was shot in the head by a man known to her. A suspect has been arrested in connection with Smith's murder, and charges are pending. Now, police have identified the two young men who were killed in separate incidents in the area called the Ghetto earlier this week. The first victim is 22-year-old Leonardo Pierre of Weddell Avenue. He was shot to death around 1:45 on Monday morning. The second victim is 38-year-old Sean Andrew Smith of Grenfell Avenue. He was shot to death around 9 p.m. on Monday night. Police are actively investigating both matters. Police have a suspect in connection with the murder of Leonardo Pierre and are still looking for the person or persons responsible for the murder of Sean Andrew Smith. Now, as a result of those two fatal shootings in the Ghetto, a group of youth leaders are reaching out once again to the youth of the area. Their overall goal to curtail violence in that inner city community. Sabrina Brown has this story.
The youth leaders took time out to visit the Garden Villas area to bring healing and hope through the message of Jesus Christ. Founder of Reach Out Ministries, Dudley Sade, is making a special appeal to young men.
Drop the guns, drop the knives, and try Jesus. Let's think, man, because we're destroying a lot of lives. A lot of young men not even living to see their grandkids. So any young man today with a gun in their hand, I want this message to go to you. God is the answer. God is the only answer. And I know at times you might say, man, I lost a friend. So in my mind, I want to seek revenge. Stop and think, man.
He's also concerned about the discrimination residents of that inner city area are often faced with.
I ask every intercessor who know how to pray, every believer in Jesus Christ who know how to pray, let's continue to pray for Garden Villas and stop looking down at the people in the ghetto. They are good people. A lot of people live here, Sabrina, because it's low income.
Youth pastors of the Forward Youth Ministry Forum, Bruce Russell and Kyle Maycock, say they want to help to raise the standard in that neighborhood.
We want to provide an area for young people to come and get any type of information that they may need, because people are hurting. You wonder why you have all this violence and crime in our communities. If you really talk to them, people are hurting.
Everybody needs to kind of assess where they are in life and just have a great appreciation for value, for human life and human dignity. And I think once we're able to, resolve conflicts reasonably, the loss of life wouldn't be an option.
Youth leader Vanrico Hanna believes it's time for the body of Christ to stand together against the forces of evil.
I've came to learn over a period of years that if one could put 1,000 to flight, two could put 10,000 to flight, how much 3, 4, 5, or 6 of us can do.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition continues right after this.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Today is being observed as World Autism Day. On the local scene, attempts are underway to create greater awareness of autism through Reach Bahamas, a support group for parents and children afflicted with the illness. Today, the local branch of Reach established an information desk for the day at the C.A. Smith building on the Mall Drive. Dr. Barbara Hall says they want to get the word out about autism and the importance of early intervention.
If no intervention is done to boys, especially with this disorder, we would see, at an early age, we would see lack of socialization, lack of communication. They are speaking, but they cannot relate. And as a result, we would see some behaviors that are not of the best. Usually when these children are very young, or these boys are very young, they would be referred to as being very rude or disorderly and not having good conduct. But once they are taught, once they are disciplined, once they are loved and cared, we will see a big change in the behavior.
Now, Reach Bahamas is also encouraging members of the public to volunteer their services to the group. Pastor Simeon Alton is giving his support.
I've been privileged to travel to Lee University some 7 years ago to be with them and to show my support by taking my band up there, raising the awareness and raising funds to go towards helping this cause. And so I'm just asking the wider community to make themselves more knowledgeable of the disease and to do all that is necessary that they possibly can to help to curb it. And I believe that we would certainly have a better society.
Well, the talent of this island's budding scientists on display this past weekend at the SACME Science Fair at the Jack Hayward Gym. Students involved in the competition were required to apply scientific principles in a practical way and build a bottle rocket and an efficient car out of a mousetrap. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Works and Urban Development was able to view the creative genius of the various high school students, calling it an illustration of the Bahamian spirit at work.
We are in the technological age. Science, engineering, communications, and mathematics are disciplines that we need to attract our young people to. Otherwise, we will be bereft of the capacity to move our country forward in years to come. And so this was very timely, and it's a very timely and necessary intervention in the lives of school children. And so I was very pleased to be here, to be a part of this launch, and to see the innovation and creativity of our young people.
The winner of the local competition will travel to the United States to represent the Bahamas. Coordinator Dennis Knoll says he's looking forward to a good showing from the local winners. Minister Davis is just as optimistic.
Last year, the winning team from here went off and competed against 25 schools in the United States and came first and third. In 2008, we came first and second. 2009, we came first in the seniors and first in the juniors. So we have excellent teams here, and we look forward to having another one just as strong to represent us next in the next Olympics.
We are world class, and so it's not surprising that we'll find Bahamian students winning the international competition in the United States or doing very well in that. It's not surprising to me. What has always been our drawback is developing our skills and finding ways to ensure that our young people could invest their talent so it's not buried and so this could be exposed.
Well, get this, Minister Davis has recommended that the winning creation be named Rocket Brave. In other news, SNS Northern Service wrapping up its month-long healthy lifestyle campaign here on Grand Bahama. During the month of March, 8:10 a.m. spearheaded a series of health screenings, health-related talk shows, and the observance culminated with the annual Fun Run Walk, which attracted close to 200 participants. Now, proceeds from the walk earmarked for the Salvation Army, and this afternoon, Coordinator Judith Dawkins made the presentation.
We had a few new vendors at the health fair as well, New Life Vegetation, natural food and vegetation, and we had a pharmacy as well, and a few other small businesses that are producing healthy products for the community. We just choose charities within the community that we feel are doing something worthwhile in the community for the good of all and not just a handful of people. So we just select a different charity every year to assist.
Captain Roger Compton says the Salvation Army has a whole lot going on this year, and he is most grateful for the funds.
Lots of people that even this money could help support as far as those that are still needing a helping hand, but we thank the community's support. We have very generous support, and even the clothing donations. Those things help to keep our programs going, and we are expanding this year our building and expanding some computer labs and sewing classes for women to make clothes for the children, and we have a lot going on, and so I'm just grateful for ZNS this year for choosing us. It was a timely choice because we have a lot going on this year.
Stay with us. Ricardo Lightborn has a check on sports when we return.
Hey everybody, it's Sports Time. I'm Ricardo Lightborn. This one goes out to all the kids who are taking part in the primary school track and field championship. It was a good one for us that we had today. Well, let me tell you that the Grand Bahama Primary School Track and Field Championship was a huge success and was officially opened today at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex. A very special moment for Mrs. Mary Cooper and Lynn Glinton. The St. George's High School Marching Band led the athletes for the opening of the Grand Bahama Sports Association's Mary Cooper, Lynn Glinton Primary School Track and Field Championships today. The Patriot Track and Field meet, Mrs. Cooper and Glinton had an opening that they will always remember. Father Cooper blessed the athletes and thankful for the wonderful day at the track. ZNS News editor Ricardo Lightborn officially opened the meet and pointing out to the athletes and supporters the significance of sports and athletics as a double-edged sword that leads to success in life and better citizens. For the patron of the track and field meet educators and former athletes, this was a very special honor and thankful.
Well, it's a real honor for me to be one of the patrons for this, our primary school sports this year. And I believe what is so significant is that the fact that Lynn and I are both from West End, Grand Bahama, and we both attended St. John's College. And like you, Mr. Lightborn, I'm a former athlete. So it's a real pleasure for me to be honored like this.
It's a humbling experience, and I was truly thrilled with the idea when asked to share the spot of honorary with Mrs. Cooper. I'm happy to see the children performing the way they are today. They're so excited, and I think they're truly realizing and appreciating that they are the best of the best from the schools that they come out here to represent.
Deputy Director of Education Sandra Eshcombe pointing to the success of the track meet and the importance of producing balanced students and Focus Plus. They need to be grounded.
The young lady at Lewis Yard Primary, she's an all-around athlete, but she's also a good academic student. And so we're on the right track when it comes to where we need to start with our students. And so if we're able to keep them focused and keep building on what their God-given talents are and what they've been blessed with and the help that they get from their teachers, we will have athletes that go to the Olympics. But more importantly, we will have leading, outstanding citizens that will continue to build this country.
The primary track and field championship promised to be exciting, and may the best team win. Well, today, folks, there was the heats in 100 meters, 400 meters, the hurdles, the time finals of the 1200s, as well as the 400-meter heat. And after the second day of competition, Hugh Campbell Hornets leads the competition 155 points. Walter Parker Primary right there, 102. Third place is Martintown so far. They've got 77.5 points, with Maurice Moore with 67.5. Freeport Primary has got 63.5 points. Tabernacle right there with some 53. Bartlett Hill is there with 51. Sunland has got a good one. They've got 36 points. Bishop Michael Eldon with 35. Lewis Yard in the mix with 25 points. And also right there, Mary Star of the Sea also at 21 points. St. Paul's has got 17.5 points, and Freeport Gospel with 14. They are back on the track tomorrow, and they are going to do exceptionally well. Those kids had some fun out there running today. Young Mr. Gordon's son was out there. Thank God for Sasha, his mother, that this kid has got talent. Gordon, another story. ZNS Healthy Lifestyle Fun Run and Walk was Saturday, and what a wonderful event this was for us. And we want to thank all you guys for making it happen. The ZNS Fun Run Walk was the event of the month as the Healthy Lifestyles came to a close. Don Lang had a good run and felt pretty good about his outing. Keith Hanna competed this year and missed the roundabout and had to settle, but he still completed the run. Kevin Aubrey walked, and once again, he was the first person to register.
When you come in these fun walks, no one come as a loser. Everyone come as a winner. They come, they walk a healthy lifestyle, they run a healthy lifestyle, and let me tell you something. I really enjoy taking part of this event every year, and I hope 2015 I'll be back. Be register 1 to register to walk a healthy lifestyle.
The health fair was held in the foyer after the race and was exciting with lots of information, and it was all available. Health screening was offered. Yes, the Grand Bahama Health Services went all out. Nurse Laura Jones said mission accomplished and hats off to everyone.
Sometimes people don't go to the hospital, but then they look forward to an event like this. We're doing screenings, and we even have a pharmacy here this year, and so you could come, you could get information on your medications, persons that are on medication. You want to know what causes, what side effect, how does your medication work. You could come to the pharmacy and you could get all that information. And you have other booths. We have like about 3 new booths this year that give you information on healthy tips. If persons who want to lose weight, we have the ladies, they diet, they want to lose weight. Persons that are in the gym, the healthy way of losing weight.
Thanks, Grand Bahama, for all your support of our Healthy Lifestyle Month event and our Fun Run Walk. And I got to tell you that Tennessee State University is looking for male track athletes, 1, 200 high jump, long jumpers. If you're interested in going to college, you better give me a call here at ZNS ASAP. That's Sports Tonight.